Chapter 4, why Sonic Adventure 2 is amazing!
Okay, whenever you hate or like stories and characters in Sonic games, most people agree Sonic Adventure 2 has the best story of all. Why?
Oh, because there's Shadow, and there's soldiers and explosions and people die and a government conspiracy and...
No, that's not what makes it good. Well, yeah, okay, maybe a little. Okay, so Shadow the Hedgehog's story also has those elements, yet people hate it. The problem with most people when it comes to stories is that they always focus on what elements are in the story. And I guess that does give a small indication on if the story's good or not, or at least about. But more important is what the writer does with those elements. I can make a story involving T-Rexes, Chuck Norris, and exploding bears, and pirates from hell, and still make it the most boring movie ever. It's not just about what's in it, it's how it's in it. So let's take a look at Sonic Adventure 2's story, and not the elements, the things that grab your attention. No, I mean the actual structure. Things you may never have noticed because you're all too busy looking at Shadow's manly chest. So here we go, looking at the gears that make Sonic Adventure 2 tick.
First of all, the opening scene is amazing! Okay, so when you start a game, you're either Sonic on the run for the military or Dr. Robotnik infiltrating the military base. Those opening scenes are amazing for 3 reasons. 1. The characters are out of their element. So in normal Sonic games, Sonic is infiltrating Eggman's base and Eggman's on the hunt by Sonic. But this time it's Eggman doing the infiltrating and Sonic's being hunted. So it's like a role reversal. And that's interesting. It makes the characters more vulnerable, but also more badass. Even out of their element, they're still wisecracking. This change of setting makes the story a little unsettling, a little different, a little mysterious. It's a whole new dynamic that sells that this adventure is going to be more amazing than ever before. Number 2, the stakes are low. Right, so at first their motivations are pretty selfish kinda. Eggman just wants to find information about his diary, Sonic just wants to escape the military and find out the truth. We're not on a noble quest to save the world just yet. Because the stakes are low at this point, this means there's a lot more growing to be done. The story can expand, become more wider in scope as the levels go along. This is important because... 3. The story elements keep getting introduced, thus keeping the story fresh and updated. The thing I like about Sonic Adventure 2's story is that it keeps giving us new information. It doesn't just peek out the whole story right in the opening scene. It introduces one element at a time. Who's this army? Why did they arrest Sonic? Oh wait, who's the Black Hedgehog? A new enemy? What does he do? He belongs with Eggman like Amy said? A bomb? A space station? A cannon? Man, what a mystery! See, things keep happening. I like that. A constant evolution of plot elements. Each finished level rewards us by pushing the story a step further.
Other things why the story is good. Right, so there's like an action moment, and then a quiet moment. Then an action moment, and a quiet moment. So there's like momentum. It goes up and down like a roller coaster. Too many Sonic games have the thing going on where you beat a level, then you get a scene of characters in a room explaining things, a level, more explaining, level, more explaining. They're always explaining things. In Sonic Adventure 2, things happen. There's a balance between action and talking in the story. Even the talking is more balanced. They're not only explaining things, they're not only boasting how awesome they are, they have little heart-to-heart moments. React to events, have a friendly banter, all sorts of conversations.
The exposition is limited. We don't get a 5-hour lecture about what a biolizard is. It's a prototype of Shadow. That's more than enough to explain him, understand why he's dangerous, and still keep a little bit of mystery going on. Things that I introduce in the story get paid off. Tails introduces a fake emerald, and then they use it to try and trick Eggman, learn Gale's control, and destroy the cannon. It's built up and paid off. It sounds so obvious, but you'd be surprised how rare this actually happens in other Sonic games, that things pay off. All characters get to do something. They all learn something of a lesson or succeed in some sort of goal. It makes the story satisfying. They're not just a bunch of idiots standing around cheering Sonic on. They do things. Even a seemingly pointless president appearance here doesn't bother me, because it's not set up as an important scene, and the president is clearly in service of the main characters. The scene is primarily about Dr. Eggman. The president here is just to give Eggman someone to talk to give Rouge a human boss to talk to give Gun a human face. He enhances those characters instead of just grabbing needless attention. Another thing, people love bitching about Sonic games in retrospect, so when people complain about new characters grabbing too much attention, they might point to Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow for starting it all. But have you ever noticed how subtle his introduction is? I mean, sure, he has a couple dramatic intros, but when you look at the story, it's really about Sonic versus Eggman. Eggman is the one calling the shots, Eggman is the one holding the speeches, Eggman is the one confronting Sonic, Eggman is the leader, the big bad. Shadow is his lackey for the first 2/3 of the game. When Sonic is seemingly killed, Amy and Tails get more reaction time than Shadow. The game eases us in getting interested in Shadow. The first half of the game is Sonic and friends versus Eggman, with Rouge and Shadow just being henchmen. Only after we gotten used to the story and the characters, only after they slowly piqued our interest with the new characters, only then do they move to the front. Unlike Silver or Chip that are immediately pushed in your face. Look how mysterious he is! Isn't he mysterious? Oh, I bet you want to play at him and see all the mysterious mystery for yourself, huh? Ah!
Okay, so in summary, it's about balance, and like roller coaster story physics. It goes up and down, twists and turns. It's exciting. Now let's take a look at a Sonic game that completely fails. A game that tries to set itself up as a sequel to Sonic Adventure 2 and just be as epic, but just ends up boring me. Let's talk about Sonic Unleashed.
5. Why Sonic Unleashed bores me.
Hey Rog, you know Dr. Robotnik's ultimate plan is to build Robotnik Land, right?
Oh yeah, it's his ultimate goal in the series.
I'll build Robotnik Land, the ultimate city!
Did you know the good doctor actually succeeded?
What, really?
Yeah, he created Robotnik Land. His life goal is finished.
Really? Oh, you mean like the Sonic Chronicles cliffhanger ending?
No, it happened before that, in Sonic Unleashed.
I don't remember that.
Here, look! Eggman Land!
Oh, of course, you're right. That is Eggman Land. But why didn't that leave any impression on me? This is a big thing. Eggman succeeded in his life goal, yet it happened completely off radar?
Yep, a main character succeeds in his life goal, and nobody including Eggman himself seemed to have noticed. One moment he's just in his spaceship, the next moment he has his completely finished Eggman Land without any oomph, and he just sits there complaining about things in his chair.
No reaction or emotions at all. This is like if Amy and Sonic suddenly married in between games. Okay, about this video, we're here to analyze things, not to give an opinion. Opinions are boring. I can say Sonic Schoolhouse is the best game ever, and all you can respond with is, oh, okay, or I disagree, or perhaps, you are an idiot! That's it. I'm not here to affect your opinion. I don't want you to think, Roger dislikes Unleashed, so he wants me to dislike the game too. I'm here to say, hey, I noticed these things, and I want you to think about them.
The title of this show is Sonic Dissected, not Sonic Review. We will not make any statements whether a game is good or bad.
I have a respect for every Sonic game, from Sonic Adventure to Sonic Turbo Trouble, from Sonic 2 to Sonic Res Adventure. There's no perfect game that has no flaws, but no unredeemable game either. I don't even hate Sonic Genesis or 2006. Anyway, we're only going to talk about the story here. Unleashed did a good and important step in redefining how gameplay should go in Sonic games, and I really enjoyed the daylight stages. Heck, even the Werehog levels were amusing, if they were less cruel and long. However, we're only going to talk about Sonic Unleashed flaws in storytelling, but at no point will I ever point out that Sonic Unleashed is a bad game. Okay, I covered our asses. Let's trash this game! Sonic Unleashed tried to be an epic adventure like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, hence its Japanese title World Adventure. The story was also made for newcomers, a fresh start without too much continuity going on. Because, you know, newcomers won't be completely confused why the game immediately opens during a big climax, and Sonic is constantly transforming into other shapes with no explanation whatsoever. Okay, so the opening sequence, there's like explosions and boom, and Sonic runs and oh my god, Eggman explosion and boom boom boom, pew, 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 and oh my god, so epic and whoa. The story is so desperately epic that it ends up being not epic. Okay, so it's all big and exciting and stuff, but the opening scene bores me to tears. You know why? Here's why. There's no consequences at all. Okay, so Sonic games have always been light on consequences, but at least there's some. Sonic gets arrested, we see him in jail. Moon gets destroyed, characters look scared and comment on it. They react to each other, there's like emotions, consequences. Okay, check this out. Sonic turns to a fucking werehog right in front of Eggman, and here's his reaction.
Sonic, that's a good look for you. Festive.
What? What? Sonic turned into a werehog! How about he turned into a werehog! Or, what the hell happened? He turned into a werehog! Ah! Or at least some fake kind of curiosity, like, huh? He turned into a werehog, how did that happen? But no, he's like,
Sonic, that's a good look for you. Festive.
Whatever. Well, thanks for undermining your entire premise right from the start. Even Sonic's reaction to the destruction of the world is underwhelming.
You've really gone and done it this time, Eggman.
To me that sounds like, "Oh, Eggman, you sure gone and done it this time." Okay, so Sonic is almost killed, and thrown out of space, and the world is destroyed, and there's a giant god destroying things, and oh my god, a horror! So how do our heroes cope with that?
Chocolate chip sundae supreme.
Hello, the Earth just exploded.
That was cool.
Any emotions? Anyone? Does anyone care? Wait, what's that?
Oh, it's hopeless! The whole planet is split apart! We're doomed!
Whoa, a civilian actually cares about what's going on. That's very... Oh wait, he was just possessed by demons. Never mind. He's behaving normal again.
That there chocolate chip cream sundae supreme.
So there's no consequences. Nobody reacts to anything. Things just happen, and everyone's like, whatever.
To be fair, Unleashed wants to be a more light-hearted story, so of course they'll skip over needless drama.
Light-hearted story. The world is destroyed, the Sonic is tortured in the opening sequence. Human beings get possessed by demons that take control over their bodies. The story is about the end of the world, and it's implied that this will eventually happen. How is this light-hearted?
You want Sonic to be emo?
There's more between overdramatic emo story and stupid nonsense. Removing consequences doesn't make a story light-hearted, it makes it boring. Okay, you want a light-hearted werehog story? You and everyone and their mother seem to love that old TV show and think that's the perfect example of how a Sonic story should be, right? So tell me, how would a werewolf episode on that show look like?
Oh, yeah. I can picture Dr. Robotnik trying to get that same power to also get those stretchy arm powers like Monkey to Luffy or something, but it goes wrong, and he gets a stretchy bat or something. And Scratch and Grounder would try capturing Sonic with a giant doghouse or something, and then the villagers would distrust Sonic, but then get into danger by Robotnik's new powers, and then Sonic saves the day, and we get a stupid Sonic Says about how we shouldn't judge people by how they look.
Exactly. Characters reacting to events happening. Sonic coping with his werehog powers. Avengers that make use of Sonic being a wolf now. Robotnik actually reacting and planning around events. A moral point to the story. All of these things are completely missing in Unleashed. Sure, this is a bit simple, a bit too childish for a proper Sonic game story, but nevertheless it's much more lighthearted and more importantly, much more story than what Sonic Unleashed came up with.
Right. So Sonic Adventure 2 starts the characters out of their element. Not here. Sonic's just chasing after Eggman as always. Not saying this is bad, just an observation. Making a simple story is good, but at least acknowledge it's a simple story. Simple stories have rules. For one, don't have a full hour of cutscene if you only have 10 minutes worth of story. Second, if Sonic vs Robotnik is the core conflict, then build the good doctor up. I mean, look here at Sonic Adventure 2. Eggman calls Sonic that he took Amy hostage. Look at Sonic. Do you see that? Oh my god, it's emotions. Sonic's eyes widen in shock, then narrow into an angry determination. It tells me, hey, what Eggman just did is serious. And now Sonic have exciting adventures to save the day. Now here's a scene of Eggman threatening people in Sonic Unleashed.
All you need to do is tell me where the Temple of Gaia is!
We're not telling you anything!
What? Sonic!
So Eggman acts like an idiot. The 5-year-old boy throws a rock at him, Eggman's own robot laughs at him, and then Sonic comes and kills Eggman's entire army off screen. So it's Super Jesus Chuck Norris God Sonic versus Elmer Fudd.
Besides, what is Eggman's plan anyway? So he wants to find a Gaia temple, gets his ass kicked by Sonic, and then he gives up and just sits in his room until the end of the game. Let me repeat that. In a story where Sonic vs Eggman is the main conflict, Dr. Eggman actually gives up and stops being an active threat barely 1/3 of the game in. Hooray! Ooh, I remember how Sonic Adventure 2 carefully spread its story out across the entire game. Well, not at least, it pukes its entire story out right in the opening sequence. Hope you weren't expecting any plot developments or anything.
Well, there is still a bit of story in Unleashed after the opening. They explain we need to find the 7 emeralds and temples.
That is not story. Seriously, I don't get it. Find 7 Gales emeralds to beat a villain is not story. It's an instruction. Unlock the temples pretty much means beat all 7 levels in order to unlock the final boss. It's a video game thing. Watching a scene of a guy telling me to find the 7 Gales emeralds has as much emotional value, suspense and excitement as reading a text saying press the A button to jump.
True. Other than that, There's two mysteries in the game. One, why Sonic turned into a werehog? This is actually an interesting question. So let's watch the explanation to how Sonic got turned into a werehog and by whom. Nothing. It's never explained.
Even at night when I'm like this, I'm still myself, not like all the other people we've seen. You must have been protecting me this whole time.
I haven't done anything, Sonic. You're the reason you haven't changed at all.
Oh, alright, so Sonic was never affected. He turned into a werehog! Okay, so that's the game's mystery number 1. And the second mystery is Chip's mystery past, whatever. So he ends up being like Gaia. Okay, one problem. Okay, so there's a new story rule I'm going to introduce to you. It's a simple rule, but very often broken. Please pay attention, Sega, and you too, Square Enix. Okay, here we go. Right. Here's the rule. Plot twists are only plot twists when the plot, twists. It happens too often. The game acts the plot twist happened when it didn't. Like when Kingdom Hearts makes a big deal that Samnez's name is actually Cinnahort. I don't care if his name is Samnez or Cinnahort or Bob. The story's still about a bunch of guys standing around an empty tower while everyone waits for something to happen. His name does not twist the plot or even advance the plot at all. Okay, I'm going to retell the story of Sonic Adventure 2. But in the retelling, all characters already know about a plot twist in advance. Okay, so Eggman uncovers Shadow, but he knows the Space Colony Ark is rigged to destroy Earth. So instead, Eggman wants to capture Shadow and turn him into a slave. Shadow and Eggman fight. Gun finds Sonic, but they know Sonic isn't a criminal. Instead, they hire him to stop Shadow. Eggman sees the gun soldiers and flees. Gun shouts,
You must kill Shadow! His brain has been manipulated to hate and destroy humans!
and Amy's like,
No, he can save him if we're nice to him. Shadow, Maria wanted you to save humans.
Maria said that?
Yes, please be nice.
Oh, Amy, you understand me.
Oh, Shadow.
Oh, Amy. And then Shadow and Amy marry and have 5 beautiful children, and then my fan character Awesome the Hedgehog comes in and...
Okay, point is, it'd be a completely different story, because the plot twists into a new direction every time the characters learn new information. That's what makes them plot twists. Now back to Sonic Unleashed. So Sonic falls on Chip. Chip doesn't know who he is. Then they both go on an adventure to get Professor Pickle to tell them they should go find the temples, stop Eggman and Gaia, and maybe uncover Chip's past. If they were aware of the plot twists, how much would the story change? Sonic drops on Chip. Chip tells him he's like Gaia and to stop Eggman and Gaia, and thus they both go out to uncover temples and stop Eggman and Gaia. Same story. The biggest change is that they don't need Professor Pickle to explain what to do. But that's not a plot twist since the information coming from him or from Chip doesn't influence the story any further. All it does is waste more time. And I hate it when stories waste my time! Sonic Adventure has a nice balance between action and talking. Sonic Unleashed almost only has talking. There's a few action moments, but Chip ruins them. Look at this scene.
Behold, my new power! Egg Beetle, go!
What? Is Chip doing the Scrappy-Doo pose? Oh my god, he's doing the Scrappy-Doo pose! When the hell is adding Scrappy-Doo in your exciting action scene ever been a good idea? Gah. So there's this exciting scene. It's all mysterious and exciting things are happening. Cartoon sound effects? Cartoon sound effects? Cartoon sound effects? Okay. Oh my god! Why don't you go all the way and have him act like Wily bloody E. Coyote while you're at it?
Oh no, I'm being sucked in this hole. Ah, you wacky Chip.
This is not how comic relief characters work! They're supposed to relieve tension after scary moments, not during them. Like, this is a happy cartoon about talking elephants and stuff, but when this guy tries to kill them, the comic relief character is all scared and stuff. See? Makes the kids realise, whoa, even the funny monkey is scared. This scene is exciting and scary. Now you keep taking the energy and tension out of your action scenes, dumbing them all down. And the talking scenes. Most of them is just characters explaining things. Explaining how Dark Gaia works and what he is. Hey, remember when Tikal has a 5-hour lecture about Chaos? Oh wait, she never did that! We're shown Chaos's backstory with visuals, characters, and drama. Look, this is interesting. This is boring. Exposition needs to be handled with care. It's an aid to tell a story, not a substitution. Watching characters stand in a room explaining things to each other is the most boring way to tell a story!
Ooh, both Sonic Infinity 2 and Sonic Unleashed were written by Japanese people. Oh, you know what that means. Abstract symbolic themes. They love them. In Sonic Infinity 2, the theme is forgiving. It's what this game is about. Sonic forgiving Eggman in order to cooperate, Shadow forgiving humanity to save Earth, and so on. Amy even has a speech about it, and as always, when Japanese writers make a speech about their moral, it's stupid and makes no sense.
I know that people fight over the most trivial things. Some people may be selfish, like the professor said. But they're basically good if they try their best and never give up on their wishes.
Yep, work hard and never give up on your wishes. Amy, question? What do people usually wish for? Like, what do you main characters wish for? Power to defeat Eggman? Sonic to love you? Jules? Strength to protect the Master Emerald? All of you would wish for power, or getting what you want. That's what all dreams and motivations pretty much boil down to. Money. Power. If every single person on Earth would work hard for power, you'd get power struggles. War! You know, the thing you're preaching against! People working hard to achieve what they want is not the way to avoid war. You avoid war by compromising and value others higher than your personal desires. This is the polar opposite of what you're preaching about.
Ignoring this stupid lecture, I still like the theme of forgiving though. It's a good theme. So what's the theme of Sonic Unleashed?
Time of awakening. Dark Gaia grows over millions of years, then rises to destroy the world. And I put it all back together.
Ah, so the world will be destroyed, and nobody cares. And then Pickles says that it's not the proper time of awakening for Dark Gaia yet. This means that later there will be appropriate time for awakening, and nobody ever seems bothered by the fact that there's living proof now that the world will end by that creature soon in the future, as Sonic won't be able to stop it. And then with Chip and rebuilding, basically the theme of Sonic Unleashed is, yeah, it kinda sucks that the world is ending, and I guess it will stop it. But the world will end soon anyway, so whatever really. So in summation, Sonic Adventure 2's theme is forgiving. Sonic Unleashed theme is, whatever. Yeah, that pretty much sums up the story for me. I love reading the Wikipedia article for this game. Written for beginning gamers. Oh yeah, they won't be confused to hell by that opening. Also, I'm sure that explains why the game is so damn hard. It focuses on less characters for more character quality and to add to the story's mythology, eh? Hey! About the added mythology, you do realize you never explained where this werehog thing came from, right? Oh, and character quality? Oh yeah, like Tails for instance. He's surprised by Sonic's transformation for 5 seconds and then turns to the generic explaining things guy as usual. Whoops, sorry Tails, we have Professor Pickle now to explain everything. You just go sit in your pathetic little plane and just wait until the game is over, okay? Oh look! Amy! She can't recognize Sonic anymore. Now Sonic is sad and... oh, never mind. Plot resolved in the same cutscene, it was brought up. Sorry Amy, you're completely useless to the story now. Why don't you go stand there and, yeah, just stand there. Good to see the reduced amount of main characters indeed increase the quality and mythology of the game. So there's no story build-up, no balance, no emotions, no twists. Yet Sonic Unleashed tries so hard to be an unofficial follow-up to Sonic Adventure. No.